Hello. Well, we are at Sonnet 91, and I wasn't familiar with this sonnet until I began looking at it a little while ago, and it just struck me as an example of how sometimes what Shakespeare writes can sound extraordinarily contemporary, as if he wrote it yesterday. And this sonnet has that feeling. So I'll try and capture that while keeping the structure of the sonnet still in place. Here we go, Sonnet 91. Can you believe it? Some glory in their birth, some in their skill, some in their wealth, some in their body's force, some in their garments, though newfangled ill, some in their hawks and hounds, some in their horse. And every humour hath his adjunct pleasure, wherein it finds a joy above the rest. But these particulars are not my measure. All these I better in one general best. Thy love is better than high birth to me. I'm going to say that line again. Thy love is better than high birth to me. Richer than wealth, prouder than garments cost, a more delight than hawks or horses be, and having thee of all men's pride I boast. Wretched in this alone, that thou mayest take all that away, and me most wretched make. William Shakespeare, Sonnets, 2020. See you tomorrow. Hi, working on 92, I've come to realize that 92 is an absolute continuation of 91. So what I'm going to do is read the last two lines of 91 and then turn the page and go on into 92. I think you'll see what I'm getting at. Okay. Sorry, I turned over too many pages. So 91 ends. Wretched in this alone, that thou mayest take all this away, and me most wretched make. But do thy worst to steal thyself away, for term of life thou art assured mine, and life no longer than thy love will stay, for it depends upon that love of thine. Then need I not to fear the worst of wrongs, when in the least of them my life hath end. I see a better state to me belongs than that which on thy humour doth depend. Thou canst not vex me with inconstant mind, since that my life on thy revolt doth lie. Oh, what a happy title do I find, happy to have thy love, happy to die. But what so blessed fair, that fears no blot? Thou mayest be false, and yet I know it not. See you tomorrow. So, before I read Sonnet 93, I want to just remind us all, me in particular, what the last line of Sonnet 92 was. All this away. Oh no, sorry, that's 91. Thou mayest be false, and yet I know it not. Remember that. So shall I live, supposing thou art true, like a deceived husband? So love's face may still seem love to me, though altered new. Thy looks with me, thy heart in other place. For there can live no hatred in thine eye. Therefore in that I cannot know thy change. In many's looks the false heart's history is writ in moods and frowns and wrinkles strange. But heaven in thy creation did decree that in thy face sweet love should ever dwell. Whate'er thy thoughts or thy heart's workings be, thy looks should nothing thence but sweetness tell. How like Eve's apple doth thy beauty grow, if thy sweet virtue, last couplet again. How like Eve's apple doth thy beauty grow, if thy sweet virtue answer not thy show. Hi, Sonnet 94. They that have power to hurt and will do none, that do not do the things they most do show, who, moving others, are themselves as stone, unmoved, cold, and to temptation slow. They rightly do inherit heaven's graces, and husband nature's riches from expense. They are the lords and owners of their faces. Others but stewards of their excellence. The summer's flower is to the summer sweet, though to itself it only live and die. But if that flower with base infection meet, the basest weed outbraves his dignity. For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. Tough talking. Hi, I would like all my friends in the UK to know that my new film, A Life with Music, is now streaming in the UK on every platform. Enjoy. So, Sonnet 95. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame which, like a canker in the fragrant rose, doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose! That tongue that tells the story of thy days, making lascivious comments on thy sport, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise. Naming thy name blesses an ill report. Oh, what a mansion have those vices got, which for their habitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth cover every blot, and all things turns to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege, the hardest knife ill used doth lose his edge. Hi, Sonnet 96. Some say thy fault is youth, some wantonness. Some say thy grace is youth and gentle sport. Both grace and faults are loved of more and less. Thou makest faults graces that to thee resort. As on the finger of a throned queen the basest jewel will be well esteemed, so are those errors that in thee are seen to truths translated, and for true things deemed. How many lambs might the stern wolf betray, if like a lamb he could his looks translate? How many gazers mightst thou lead away, if thou wouldst use the strength of all thy state? But do not so. I love thee in such a sort, as being mine, mine is thy good report. Thank you. Bye. Hi, Sonnet 97. It's tricky. I've spent as much time on this one as I have on any of the others, and I hope we have spared traffic noise. How like a winter hath my absence been from thee, the pleasure of the fleeting year? What freezings have I felt, what dark days seen, what old December's bareness everywhere! And yet this time removed was summer's time, the teeming autumn big with rich increase, bearing the wanton burden of the prime, like widowed wombs after their lord's decease. Yet this abundant issue seemed to me but hope of orphans and unfathered fruit. For summer and his pleasures wait on thee, and thou away, the very birds are mute. Or if they sing, 'tis with so dull a cheer that leaves look pale, dreading the winter's near. I think we got away with it. Just one car. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Hi, Sonnet 98. Tomorrow will be 99. From you have I been absent in the spring, when proud-pied April, dressed all in his trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything, that heavy Saturn laughed and leapt with him. Yet nor the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odour and in hue, could make me any summer story tell, or from their proud lap pluck them where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lily's white, nor praise the deep vermilion of the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight, drawn after you, you pattern of all those. Yet seemed it winter still, and you away, as with your shadow I with these did play. Hi. This sonnet, 99, is actually the third in a trio of sonnets that I should have mentioned a couple of days ago, that are connected together, in that he thinks that plants have stolen his love's beauty. So, Sonnet 99. The forward violet thus did I chide. Sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? the purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both, and to his robbery had annexed thy breath. But for his theft, in pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker ate him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweet or colour it had stolen from thee. One thing about this sonnet, I didn't know this, I've only just read this in the notes. This is the only sonnet in all 154 that has 15 lines in it, not 14. See you tomorrow.